Good afternoon. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest things and greatest opportunities there is for high school students right out of high school, and that is serving 2 years of military service right out of high school. What are some benefits of serving in the military right out of high school? Number one, discipline. Then we can move on once we establish a good fine line for discipline. We have leadership. Leadership is very valuable in the workplace and life after college. And lastly, citizenship. What is the most important thing about being a U.S. citizen? Now that we established some of the great things that we can get out of 2 years of military service right out of high school, let's take a look at discipline. Discipline, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, is how well a behavior follows a set of standards and guidelines. One of the biggest challenges for high school students today, once they transition into a college environment, is getting the discipline to stay with work studies, class schedules, and several instances like that that require a very big timeline and time management. Discipline is one of the biggest factors there is on that. College students will face numerous issues and things, and that's why one of the dropout rates is so high, because they lack the discipline to maintain their college studies. Now that once you get this discipline part down, which is one of the hardest parts to get, and again, you can easily get that with doing 2 years of military service right out of high school. Next, let's look at leadership. Why is leadership so important to a college room setting and future of a college student? Well, because everybody wants to lead. Everybody wants that opportunity to run a company, manage their own business. Everybody wants to be in charge. Everybody wants to call shots. How do you do that? Very easy with leadership. Leadership is the capacity to lead. And the military is one of the greatest institutions in the entire world that teaches you how to be a leader. Leadership in a college room setting is just fabulous, and you have to get that. Again, the only way you can get that is doing 2 years of military service right out of high school. Next, let's look at citizenship. What makes a citizen of the United States so good and valuable to the country? Number one is easy. Of course, citizenship gives back. I know in my unit we have a couple opportunities that we do quite frequently for local community. We volunteer at soup shelters, we volunteer handing out Christmas packages, we take care of local communities, we just get out there and help out. In my unit alone, we probably average around 15 hours a week of community service to our local communities. Why is this important as with discipline and leadership and citizenship? Well, you can get this citizenship very easy due to the fact that the military is such a big proponent and supporter of local communities. Every kid, male or female, serving 2 years of military service right out of high school can develop these three things in a very, very nice, orientated, and a pattern of discipline and leadership that will establish a base for the rest of their life. Now that we looked at discipline, leadership, and citizenship, how does that all fit together? Well, quite simply, being a part of a profession of arms is being something more than just yourself. It's about getting out there, taking care of what needs to be taken care of without being asked. Sacrifice, which in a college room setting you have to have sacrifice to stay up all night studying, to do those papers, just help your fellow classmates, and that's where leadership steps in. If you maintain a good discipline with leadership, with citizenship, you will be highly successful. And that is why every college student, every high school student should do 2 years of military service right out of high school. It's about being more than just for yourself.